Good afternoon, Cross Timbers, and welcome back, students. Today is Monday, June 10th, 2013. This is the Texan TV News from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas, and I'm Ian Troub. In today's headlines, Houston doctor charged for poisoning lover, first Tarleton orientation kicks off summer, Girl Scouts experiment with cameras and laptops during badge fun, Hood County man gets 50 years for biting woman, youngest victim of Boston Marathon bombing honored, explosive-laden cars detonated in Iraq. And now for today's top story. According to the AP Exchange, Houston oncologist Ana Maria Gonzalez Angulo has been charged for poisoning her lover and co-worker's coffee. According to the Associated Press, Gonzalez Angulo, who is a breast cancer oncologist at the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center, spiked their drink with a sweet-tasting chemical used in antifreeze and medical research. The doctor was also charged last week for aggravated assault against Dr. George Blumenshine, a lung, head, and neck cancer specialist at the cancer center. According to a criminal complaint, the two doctors were in, quote, a casual sexual relationship. The complaint also said Blumenshine suffered a prolonged loss of the use of his kidneys and is still receiving treatment for it. Authorities believe that Blumenshine was poisoned on January 27th when he was in Gonzalez Angulo's home. According to the charges, Blumenshine complained that his coffee tasted sweet, but Gonzalez Angulo told him that she added Splenda to it and to finish drinking the coffee. She then made him another cup, which Blumenshine said that it also tasted sweet. Within a few hours, Blumenshine's speech began to slur and also had poor balance and loss of fine motor skills. He was taken to an emergency center where they found him to have central nervous system depression, cardiopulmonary complications, and renal failure. He had to undergo dialysis later. A urine test showed crystals consistent with ethylene glycol poisoning, according to the complaint. Ethylene glycol is present in the cancer center's laboratories, which Gonzalez Angulo had access to the chemical, according to investigators. In campus news, Tarleton held the first freshman orientation of the summer last Friday on June 7th. New Tarleton students fresh out of high school came to get a taste of what the Tarleton family is like. Orientation included registering for classes, obtaining Texan cards, signing up for deck camp, resources fair, and other useful events to help students transition into the life of being a college student. According to Tarleton's Office of Transition and Family Relations, approximately 264 students were present, along with 273 parents and guests. A final count of attendance has not been made yet. In local news, according to the AP Exchange, Girl Scouts in the Stephenville area will be experimenting with cameras and laptops during badge fun today and tomorrow. Daisies, Brownies, and Juniors also will have the opportunity to take part in various experiments using items found in the home during the event at the Mistletoe Hut in Stephenville. This is just one example of Girl Scout activities that would appeal to girls interested in science or technology. Other activities may include anything from makeup to canoeing, or from singing around a campfire to a trip to a concert or ball game. There's something there for almost any girl, and it's not the same thing all the time. There are numerous programs, and they shift frequently. And the best part is the girls have a say in what comes next. Most youth programs slow down during the summer, including Girl Scouts. For information on what is available, call 800-346-3215 for the Brownwood office, 325-670-0432 for the Abilene office, or 800-582-722 for the Fort Worth Council office. In regional news, 24-year-old Clinton Drake Doherty pled guilty to aggravated assault for inflicting a bite wound on a woman's mouth that will leave her disfigured for life. According to Hood County News, this will be Doherty's second go-around for prison. On September 4th, 2012, he pled guilty to aggravated robbery of his roommate and received a 10-year prison sentence for that felony. Testimony to decide punishment began last Tuesday, June 4th, which concluded with Doherty receiving 50 years in prison. He might be eligible for parole after about 12 and a half years. Hood County Assistant District Attorney Patrick Berry said that Doherty told a number of people that he was affiliated with the Aryan Brotherhood of Texas and tried to use the fear to intimidate the jailers and potential witnesses in the case. Hospital photographs of Victoria Brown, who was Doherty's girlfriend at the time, with severe lip damage, were shown. She testified that she had been drinking heavily that day and also took Xanax, so she was unable to recall what had happened. In national news, the youngest victim on the Boston Marathon bombing was honored yesterday at a Roman Catholic Mass, which would have been his 9th birthday. According to the AP Exchange, hundreds of people from Boston and surrounding areas joined the family of Martin Richard in Sunday's tribute at St. Anne Parish in the Dorchester neighborhood of Boston. The congregation cheered for the 7-year-old sister of Martin, Jane, who lost a leg in the explosion, while she wheeled herself up the aisle with the pastor. Martin was one of the 3 people killed in the bombing on April 15th. More than 260 others were hurt, including most of Martin's family. His mother suffered a head injury and loss of vision in one of her eyes. His father had shrapnel wounds and burns to his legs and suffered a hearing loss. According to his father, Martin was an outstanding and curious student. He loved astronomy, math, and solving complicated problems. The Dorchester Reporter reported. In international news, explosive-laden cars were detonated around 2 busy markets in central Iraq Monday, killing 22 people and wounding many. According to the AP Exchange, the attacks in Iraq have spiked to unseen levels since 2008. The bloodshed follows months of protesting by the country's Sunni Arab minority against the Shiite-led government. Today's deadliest attack occurred in the Diyala province when 3 parked car bombs exploded simultaneously around a fruit and vegetable market. The initial blast killed 15 people and wounded 46. Shortly after, another bomb went off near a fish market, killing 7 people and wounding 25, according to police. No immediate claim of responsibility for the attacks has been taken, which has been the case for the majority of the violence in recent attacks. Coordinated car bombings in civilian areas is mostly the work of al-Qaeda's front group in Iraq, also known as the Islamic State of Iraq. In today's sports, according to the AP Exchange, after losing Game 1 of the 7-game series to the San Antonio Spurs, the Miami Heat used a 33-5 run to rout the San Antonio Spurs 103-84 on Sunday night and even the series at 1 game apiece. James missed 10 of 13 shots through 3 quarters, and the Heat trailed by a point late in the period before unleashing the lethal brand of basketball that led them to a franchise record 66 wins this season. Chalmers finished with 19 points, and James had 17 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 blocks, the best on Tiago Splitter's dunk attempt, while shooting only 7 of 17 from the field. The Heat made 10 of 19 three-pointers and got 13 points from Ray Allen and 12 points and 10 rebounds from the previously slumping Chris Bosh. Danny Green made all 6 shots, including 5 three-pointers, and scored 17 points for the Spurs. They host Game 3 on Tuesday night. Tony Parker had 13 points on 5 of 14 shooting for the Spurs, who were so precise in their 92-88 victory in Game 1, but threw the ball all over the white-surrounded court Sunday, committing 17 turnovers that led to 19 Miami points. In today's weather, according to the weatherchannel.com, the high is 96 degrees with mostly sunny skies and a low of 70 degrees with 0% chance of rain. Today's broadcast was produced by Kaylee Bedingfield. Be sure to follow Texan News Service on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Ian Troub. Tune in next week for the latest news from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas. And as always, bleed purple, stay classy.